90 Shows Taught Me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling here with my co-host, Sara Fergenson. Sara, how are you?
Oh, Jess, I'm just so good. I am so excited to be here today with you because I've done no work to be here.
Yes. No homework was required on Sara's part. It's all me, baby. I watched a movie. I made a slideshow. I'm going to show it to Sara. And obviously, if you're listening to this on your podcast app, you're probably like, wow, these women are dumb because this is a podcast. This is an audio medium. Why are they putting on a presentation for just one person? Well, people, I have great news. You too can watch the presentation on YouTube. Sara, we're on YouTube now.
We're on the YouTube. I mean, if you are somebody that Googles us, you could probably have found out that we've had a YouTube. We're YouTube stars. Not really, but we're YouTube.
Yes.
We've been on YouTube for a little bit. You've been diligently uploading our backlog onto YouTube to prepare for this day. We should have a new intro, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we'll have the new intro on this video. So if you find us on YouTube, Shit 90s Pod, you'll see we have all the backlog of Buffy and Felicity podcasts in audio only form, obviously. But now going forward, we're going to have video. So Sara, do you think there's anyone out there who's listening to this podcast that had truly no idea what we looked like?
I'm sure, because at least, I mean, I'm sure that people have I don't know, but my social media, and I didn't even mean it this way. It was just supposed to be hi, I'm mysterious. It's just I think my lips and my hair.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I will say that I'm going to see Wicked today. So I have green makeup on and a pink lipstick, and it's because specifically I don't want to go in costume. Girl, I am not painting my skin green. I'm not putting up a big pink dress.
Have you seen there's people who have put on green makeup and then it doesn't come off?
Oh yeah, or it's
there was
yellow.
A recall or whatever. Yeah.
I'm not doing that, but I'm okay, I'll put on a green eye with some pink and I mean, so I'm in costume. Normally I think I'm just gonna look like a freaking hag I normally.
I look more haggish.
I might hag now.
Just a little behind the scenes. It's 9 a.m. on a Saturday. So I just finished my coffee before I sat down for us to record. I'm not, this is not my Sunday best, but this is probably going to be the reality from week to week. So if you want to watch our faces as we discuss these shows, do these podcasts, find us on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And I'm really excited because we get to actually use some visual cues. I think there are certain podcasts, Sara, in the past where we certainly would have benefited. We used to have an entire fashion segment on Boy Meets World and Dawson's Creek that would have been fun to do with a visual component. And now we get to do that. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. So I guess this is the time to bring back Fashion Hour, especially because I don't have to do 90 hours of Canva work putting together slideshows. I could just be here's a picture, here's a screenshot, see it and enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. So today, for our bonus podcast, what we are doing is I have watched a film. I have done a slide presentation on said film, and I'm going to be presenting it to Sara. She can ask questions, ask clarifying questions, but I'm basically going to be telling the story of this movie to Sara. And shouts out to Todd the librarian, because when we said that this was going to be a concept for a podcast of one of us watches something, the other gets to sit back and enjoy, I had said, Todd, give me some weird movies. I need something that would be fun to present to someone else. And he gave me a full list to choose from, which was really kind of him. And I'll link in our show notes I think he put it on Letterboxd, the list of movies. So if anyone else is interested in watching some strange 90s movies, they can. But today we're going to be discussing the movie North. Now, this movie is truly unhinged. And so I'm so excited to like talk about it with you because this movie is wild. Any questions, Sarah? Anything you want to get off your chest before we get started?
I don't know. Like, I've never heard of this movie, which for a 90s movie, I feel as though I've seen a fair amount, or at least heard of a fair amount. I have no idea what it's about, what actors are in it. I've never heard of this movie. I don't know what this movie is. In your presentation, is it comprehensive enough for like you? Did you say what year it's from?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to see if you did your work because
I did my homework. I used, listen, and we have, for those who know, we have a joint friend, a friend Stuart, that I recently got into the show Survivor. And I was doing slides presentations because we don't use PowerPoint in this household for him before seasons that had like returnees and all this stuff to like explain things to him. And notoriously, I would say these are ugly. Like, because I spent 15 minutes on them, they're not going to be pretty presentations. I did put in more effort in this presentation. I did use a template from slides because I am not a graphic artist girly like you, Sarah. I struggle. And so a template is my go-to. So that is, why are you cringing? Why are you cringing already? You haven't even seen it.
I'm just thinking back to your Survivor slideshows. And
yeah, they were ugly and they were great.
They weren't good.
But they were informative, which is what they were meant to be.
Were they?
Yes, they were very informative. Anyway.
Yeah. Honestly, I strictly just popped into those presentations to be rude and then I would leave. So I remember. I wouldn't even pay attention truly to what the content was. But I would just be like, this is ugly. And then everybody like expected me to say that, which didn't aid me saying that. It just fueled the fire in a way, you know? So I'm going to be so not judgy. I'm going to remove my Virgo rising. Goodbye, Virgo rising. Goodbye.
Yeah. We'll see how long that lasts. Let me bring to the stage my presentation. I have entitled this Going North.
Going North. Yeah, for a second I thought I misunderstood the title of the movie and it was actually the movie was called Going North and I was like, I really don't know this. Okay, so are we explaining anything for the audio only listeners because what I'm seeing right now is green. Like Wicked. See, it's
timing is perfect. Yeah.
It's Wicked Day. Yeah. So which is like so like funny that I wore green and there's green. It's the green day. Okay. It looks like a book. This
was a template for a book report that I stole.
Got it. Okay. So it says Going North by Jessica Sterling. Exactly. And then on the side, on the
it looks like the binding.
It says Jessica Sterling. No, it says Jess Sterling.
Yeah, I went sometimes with Jess, sometimes, it's whatever.
And then Shit 90 Shows taught me. Spelt out the entire way. Beautiful. Look at that. Gold. Okay. Gold. Oh, wow. Okay.
Here's our content. We're going to do a thesis statement. I'm going to set the movie. We're going to talk through the characters. We're going to talk through kind of the timeline and all the places he visits. Now.
Wait, no. Can you just go back?
Sorry.
You're a monster. Okay. Hold on. Okay. You just need to like a thesis statement, setting up the movie, characters, timeline, Texas, Hawaii.
Oh, now I'm realizing I left themes and symbolism in there from the template. That's not the case. We're not going through themes and symbolism.
Themes and symbolism. Well, you better.
I'll talk about the themes and the symbolism.
Analysis and conclusion. We have page numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
Hop off.
Okay. So our thesis statement. This slide's presentation aims to inform and entertain my co-host Sara Fergenson with tales from the 1994 unhinged film North. Again, shout out to Todd the Librarian for suggesting such a ridiculous film.
Can you clarify what Slides is?
Slides is for us girlies on a bargain, on a budget. Slides is PowerPoint via Google. So like Google Sheets, there's also Google Slides. So it is useful because I'm not getting, what is it, Microsoft Suite? Microsoft does PowerPoint. I'm not paying for that. Anybody got time for that?
Are you poor?
I am a poor. And I also I'm not someone who's gonna. I'm not in college. I'm not working in an office. I don't have Microsoft. Do you have Microsoft, Sarah, just laying around?
I mean, yeah, like only because I have it through work. Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a subscription, right? Through work. Like,
Yeah.
everything's a subscription nowadays. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you pay the yearly membership, but yeah, like it's Microsoft 365.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Slides is free. So this is
free.
my Slides.
We love free.
Now, here's the setup.
Okay.
North, created 1994. This child right here. Do you recognize this young lad, Sarah?
No.
You don't? This is Elijah Wood.
Okay, it's Elijah Wood. Okay.
A young Elijah Wood.
I see it in the eyes.
Now, what age would you guess Elijah Wood is in this film?
11 or 12.
I think that's about right. Yeah. I think that's about
I can spot a preteen boy because I'm afraid of them. Strictly because I'm afraid of them. Very afraid.
Yes. Now let me explain to you the just some of the cast in this film. Yeah. Truly crazy. We have John Lovitz. Do you recognize this man?
Yeah. I remember him from Rat Race. My famously my first DVD that I ever owned in my life. Rat Race.
Do you know what I know John Lovitz from?
What?
An episode of Friends.
That tracks. The one where he was
he's getting high and he
ate all of Monica's food.
Tartlets.
I do remember that. Elijah Wood, famous for
Frodo.
He was also in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I think is my favorite thing that I've seen him in. Because it's just like one of my favorite movies. Okay, moving on.
Bruce Willis.
Yes. Famously married to probably Demi Moore at the time, has a daughter, Rumor, with the biggest chin that ever lived. And
I don't know that I've seen Rumor's chin.
Yeah, Rumor has a big chin.
Okay.
And sadly, he is going through it right now. I think he has early onset dementia. So
it's awful. I feel really bad, but like at least he has the means with which to like support himself and get help that he needs. But yeah, very, very sad. But Bruce Willis, I mean, 1994, like he is at the height of his power. So he is in this film.
What is Bruce Willis in? Is he
Die Hard is like the thing that I think he's probably best known for.
I don't watch that. What else?
Well, I mean, I don't either. He was also in Friends.
Got it. Okay.
He's I think okay. The other one is probably Sixth Sense, right?
Yes. Okay. I was just about to say that. Got it. Okay. Oh, okay. Next. Well, oh, wow. Okay. So the next.
Yes. What are you reacting to, Sarah? What two people, which I assume is what you're reacting to?
So I was like, oh, Jason Alexander is on the middle left. And I was like, okay, Seinfeld. I know him from Seinfeld. And then we have Julia Louis-Dreyfus, which is also, I recognize from Seinfeld. But more recently, I watched most of Veep. We still haven't watched like half of the last season. And I think that I can understand why we didn't.
Yeah.
Also, like, I don't even know if Selena got there, so maybe it makes sense. But we got a little our wind kind of left the sails for Veep, so we did not stay vopped.
Very fair.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Powerhouse. Oh, Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd is in this film. Then there's a lady I don't recognize. Well, I don't know who she is.
You cut off the word.
It wouldn't fit. And here's the thing. I went with the size that the PowerPoint, or excuse me, the slides. Never again will I say PowerPoint on this podcast. The slides recommended. Yeah. So who cares about this lady, but this lady in the middle?
Okay, who's the lady in the middle? Susan Sarandon?
No, that's Reba.
Oh, I don't know. This picture is very small. Okay, so Reba McEntire, isn't it?
Yes.
Famous for being a single mom who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops.
Exactly.
I watched Reba. I
never watched Reba.
Yeah, I was a Reba girly.
Although my grandmother had a cat named Reba. After
incredible. This is fantastic news. Yeah. Absolutely stunning news. Okay.
And then everyone's favorite TV dad, like truly just a legend.
Who's
John
that?
Ritter.
John Ritter. Okay.
Yeah.
The picture is small and pixelated.
He's made appearances in Buffy. He's made appearances in Felicity.
Yeah. Maybe
We
I need
love
to.
him.
Oh, okay. I've done something better. I made this full screen, so my
Okay,
crusty
there you
ass
go.
eyes can really see every single little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I still don't think I would have gotten that to be Reba.
That's
And
okay.
so yeah, okay.
Now this movie is called North, a family comedy that appeals to the child in everyone.
Oh.
The concept of this movie is North, played by Elijah Wood, is a
Mm.
popular, smart kid. Everyone loves him. Everyone loves him, except his parents are too busy
Oh.
to pay any attention to him.
Yes,
So
relatable.
so he
Me. That was me as
decides.
a kid, actually, extremely so. Well, actually, no, I was a very big loser and I wasn't smart. So maybe this is not relatable to me. but saying that my parents didn't have time to pay attention to me, that was accurate.
Mhm.
Catch me, I thought that the Kardashians were the first people to ever name a child North. I was wrong.
Nope, this kid's name is North. They don't explain why. Like, they don't ever talk about why he's named North, but he is. And he decides that I'm going to legally separate myself from my parents. Now, you might be thinking, oh, we've seen this before. It's called emancipation. And it usually like Macaulay Culkin, famous 90s actor, was emancipated from his parents.
Mhm.
No, that is not what happens in this film. The judge says, listen, it is July 1st. You have 3 months to find new parents. And yes, and you have by Labor Day to find new parents.
Okay.
If you don't find new parents, then you are an orphan and you're going to an orphanage.
Please tell me the judge has to be played by John Lovett.
No, the judge is
No?
not played by John Lovett. We will get into who John Lovett plays.
Okay.
Lovett's plays, yeah. So he's basically globetrotting, which explains the poster, to find new parents.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
What? Okay. Okay. I'm already bamboozled because like this would never happen anywhere. Okay,
Of course
hold on.
not.
Yeah. Is this child from Pennsylvania because he's wearing an Eagles jersey even though it's red and the Eagles are in green?
Excellent question. I don't know what city he originally lives in. I don't know if they say.
Okay.
It's very like suburban, so it's hard for me to tell. But yes, North is our protagonist, played by Elijah Wood. He is great at everything. He's great at baseball. He's great at school. He even plays, a la Corey Matthews, plays Macbeth in his school production.
Wow.
Yep. He's good at science fairs. You name it, he's good at it. His biggest problem, though, Sarah, is that he's a little fucking attention whore. Like, even though he gets so much praise from all the kids at school, like, Sarah, to the point where other parents are like, North would have taken out the garbage when I asked for the first time. Like, this happens in the film. It's kind of a crazy.
Okay. So he's the Leo. Because
Yes.
the attention is not enough for him. He needs more attention.
Exactly. And he
Got it.
full on, Sarah, you're so correct. He definitely is a Leo. He is the drama. There's a scene in the very beginning of the film where his parents are like, they're all at the dinner table and they're chiming back and forth about their work days, like basically just complaining about work. He is repeatedly trying to get their attention and they're just ignoring him and like acting like he doesn't exist. And he full on has like, I'm not even going to call it a panic attack because it was an actual panic. Like, but he is the drama. He's like, oh my God. And he like falls to the floor.
Okay. He like faints at dinner. A
Yeah.
classic move to get your parents' attention. And they don't care. Because, okay, so now the next slide is North's parents.
Yeah. And I don't even think they have names, honestly. Like they aren't really named in the movie, but they are played by George and Elaine, aka Julia Louise Dreyfus. And why am I forgetting George's real name? Jason Alexander.
Okay. Besides the fact that they're both in this, are there any other Seinfeld ties? Like, how and why are they both cast in this movie at the same time as a couple?
Yeah, it's interesting. There are no other like Seinfeld connections. I think it was just a matter of like Seinfeld was hot at the time, right? Like this is 94. I don't know when Seinfeld started, but like I have to imagine it was
I think
hot
it
at the
was
time.
around 88 or something.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you can Google it if you like, but okay. Okay, so they're too busy to pay attention to their son. They're business people. They're wearing business outfits. They
Yes.
are both wearing blazers. Okay, hold on. His father is a pants inspector.
You are reading this correctly. There is a scene in which when they're at the dinner table, he's having this little discussion, and I'm like, what the hell does his father do for a living?
Yeah.
We see at one point his father is like trying on like a tuxedo or like some sort of suit. And there's the guy like, come on, man, you got to get on to the next one. He's like, I'm working. Like he tries on pants.
Okay. So like he's like a fit model, because I actually did this not for pants but for bras at one point. Like
You did this? What do you mean you did this?
I was a fit model like for like, so my friend Jillian, my best friend, she used to work at like a big company that made like bras and panties, and one of the divisions she worked for did like plus bras and panties. So they needed like fit models to come in and like try on the bras, or they would also send bras to me, and then I would try on the bras and like give feedback and like say like, oh, like it's digging in here or it's gapping here.
Got it.
Like
Okay.
I would give in feedback, and like they would like watch how I would like put on the bra, because people like put on bras like differently, like, you know. So and then I would give like feedback, and then when I went there I got paid to do it, and then when they sent it to me, then I got to keep the bras. So there was like a big like 8-year span that I didn't have to buy bras, because all of my
and that's
bras
a big
were free.
expense.
Yeah,
so that's incredible.
Yeah. So it's not like he's a pants inspector, because like I was hearing this and I was like, he like goes to places and is like, your pants are too big, you're
in trouble.
too
Ticket.
low, like you're exactly, like that's what I was envisioning.
I mean, to be fair, this was strange to me, like as a job, and I feel like it is played in the movie to be strange.
Weird. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe it's stranger than like what I'm saying, but like obviously, like the clothes that you're wearing right now, they had to be fitted by somebody in order to like be like, this works on a human body. So okay. Does he do suits or specifically just pants?
I saw suits, but I'm pretty sure he mentioned pants.
Okay.
Yeah. And we don't know what Elaine does. I have no idea what Elaine does. Like she talks businessy speak, but it's very much like synergy this, and you know, like I don't know if she said at all.
Okay, like
does.
Like economy, like I don't know. You know how in This Is Us, like Randall, his job was like, I am going to like projectings. And it's just like, how is this like it's a job, obviously everything's a job. I mean, I like literally like pick out pillows for like part of my living, but it's just like, how is like projectings about how the market could potentially become eventually a job? But it is okay. So she's like business,
she's
like
business lady,
like briefcase, like she probably works on Wall Street. Do they live in a suburb or a city at least? Do you know that?
I think they live in a suburb, but like outside of a major city.
Yes. Big same. Once again, relatable. Got it.
So North is like all of a sudden, because his parents aren't appreciating him, he kind of like starts to lose his mojo a little bit, and he starts sucking at all the things he was good at. So baseball, he's throwing wild pitches. When he's on stage, he's forgetting very easy lines. So like, to be or not to, and then he's like thinking, and he's like, line, like it's bad, right? And everyone is like, wow, North, you're losing your cool here. So he goes to his quote unquote special spot. that is pictured in this photo. Sarah, where do you think he's sitting here?
I mean, his living room, I guess. Like, I mean, he's sitting on a big leather lazy boy type chair. There are nail heads. It's a big comfy chair for
Yes.
a little man.
He is sitting in a big comfy chair. If you look kind of a little bit behind him, he's actually in like a furniture like store. He's sitting on a chair amongst a bazillion other chairs.
So it's not his chair. It's just a chair amongst other chairs.
Chair.
Yeah. He goes to Ethan Allen or Raymour and Flanagan and says, I am going to just sit here and contemplate my life.
Exactly.
But don't we have loitering rules in this universe?
Sure, but I think in the 90s they just simply did not give a fuck because it's not even just a furniture store. Like it feels so 90s, but it's like a furniture store within a mall. So like he's just like walking around the mall and he's like what 10 or 12, so no one cares. He's just doing what he wants.
Okay, good for him. Yeah.
Now we're going to round out our cast of characters here. We have Bruce Willis. Honestly, Bruce Willis doesn't even really have a name. And now you're making a face, Sarah. Would you like to tell me why you're making this face?
He's in a bunny suit.
Indeed, he is.
A pink bunny suit.
Now.
Oh, okay. Go on.
So this man, played by Bruce Willis, shows up everywhere. And every time he looks like he's like in a Halloween costume. So the very first time we meet him, he's in this bunny outfit and he sits down at the furniture store with North and he's just eating a carrot and he is playing an Easter bunny at the mall. Like that's what he's doing for a job.
Okay.
Now, the important thing to think about is, what is this man? Is he a ghost? Is he a fairy godfather? Like, I don't know, but he is always there. And every time North interacts with this man, it's like, he's like, oh, I don't know who you're referring to. Like, I've always lived here,
Is there any way that he's just a pedophile stalker?
Could be.
But we just don't know.
We don't know.
Okay. Yeah. At first, this reminded me of like Sims 1, Sims 2, when your sim got very, 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 very depressed.
Yes.
And like this like
creepy bunny would show up.
Bunny would show up and be like, don't be sad, be glad, like be happy. And then like either your sim would then like off themselves or they would be happier. I'm not quite sure which. But okay, so we are not sure if there is a mystical element to this, but he just happens to be there. And does he give advice? Like, does
Yes, he's very much like, I am going to help you figure your life out.
Does he cheer North up?
Yeah, there are times when he does. Yeah. Sometimes he's a little bit more like tough love. It depends on the setting, really. He's kind of like a method actor in that way, And then we have John Lovitz, who is not playing the judge, but is playing North's lawyer.
Okay. So I was not too far off by this.
No, and he's one of the like what they would call back in the day. I don't even know. Like they would call this sort of lawyer an ambulance chaser. Where they're basically just looking to make a quick buck. Like he's like, this is gonna put me on the map. This sort of trial is going to be heavily televised. I'm going to make a name for myself. So he is who North ends up hiring to be his lawyer.
This is like big Saul Goodman vibes.
Exactly. Very much
Perfect.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Better Call Saul. Better Call Lawyer. Does the
John Lovitz.
Okay, so none of these characters.
His name is Arthur. The lawyer's name is Arthur.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have named character, tiny child sociopath, Winchell.
I hate him.
He's the worst. We meet him. So he is the one. North goes to Winchell and is like, my life sucks. My parents aren't paying attention to me. I'm struggling. Winchell is the one who says, that's it. You need to find new parents. Like, let's get you a lawyer. He is the one who kind of sets the ball in motion. And we'll be talking about him because this child, truly a nightmare.
Yeah, and he has big buck teeth.
I mean, he is a kid, so he's that weird age where like you get your adult teeth, but like you're still a kid, so they just look massive in your face.
Oh yeah, except I never outgrew that, so that's really unfortunate for me. My teeth kept on growing.
Did I tell you that my niece got braces?
No,
She's at that age now. Charlotte, the oldest. She's at that age now where now she has braces because she was at this age that Winchell's at where it's like, oh, your teeth are a little bit too big, you know, like but now she has braces and it's like, it's kind of astonishing because it makes her look so much more adult, like immediately. And it's just like, oh my gosh, she's like grown so much. Anyway, she is much nicer than Winchell, the sociopath.
Okay.
Okay. Now we're going to talk timeline here because this is important. We start with the lawsuit, right? And this moves very quickly. By the way, this movie, we love it that it is under an hour and a half long.
But will this podcast be under an hour and a half long?
Yes.
Oh, hopefully.
I have 20 slides, so it shouldn't be that long.
Okay.
Now, we start off with the lawsuit. North very easily wins this lawsuit, but the judge has the dumbest rules for him. He's like, okay, it is July 1st today. On Labor Day, you need to physically be in the arms of your parents, whether it's your old parents or your new parents, or you're going to be sent to an orphanage.
Okay.
These are the rules.
Course. Yes. Does he have to choose his new parent?
He's the one choosing. He chooses,
but like, can he? So, is there no like? Okay, I couldn't find the right fit. Like, can his parents seize the child's back?
No, and we'll get into what happens with his parents when he files this lawsuit.
Okay. Oh, and then what? Like, so what were the grounds? Like, just that his parents were like negligent that won the case?
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you now because it's really dumb and it'll come back to play later. When he files this lawsuit, his parents, both of them, kind of just go comatose. Like in the courtroom, they are literally kind of up on not like hospital beds, but like those plank things that like, you know, those plank exercise things that you can like lay on. They're kind of positioned up like that, but completely comatose and just like staring straight ahead.
They're in shock.
They're in shock and for months. Yeah, they're in shock for months. Now the next thing on the timeline is North is going to try out a ton of parents, right? He's globetrotting. Now, there is some stuff that does not age well in this film, which we will discuss. And there are some things that are truly unhinged. Like I said, this movie is a wild time. The other thing that happens as a result, Sarah, is as you can imagine, a child getting emancipated from his parents becomes big news. And children everywhere are like, I hate my parents too. And there is a revolution.
Yeah, I think that there would have been like a non-zero chance that I also chose to uprise at one point. You know, you are a parent's girly.
I wouldn't.
You love your parents and you still do.
Yes, I do.
Like your mom is like probably your best friend besides Will.
This is correct. Yeah. I just
saw
him yesterday.
Yeah. I am not a parent's girly. Like I would have shipped myself off. Like I could have bought into this and been like, yes, this is for me.
You would have been head of the union. Yeah.
Probably maybe not
head of the children's union,
but this
maybe head of HR. I could see you as head of HR.
Yeah,
because you would love to get all the tea. Like you would be like, please tell me all your problems. I would love to hear them.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like I recently have been like, do I want to do my career for the rest of my life? And I was like really thinking, like, what do I want to do? And I was like, I feel like I would be really good at HR.
You would. And the reason is, because HR is responsible for like onboarding employees. And you're like, I mean, we talked about this literally on a podcast we recorded yesterday about how friendly you are with strangers. Like immediately you're very welcoming. So you'd be really good at that. And I think you'd be really good at like listening to people's problems.
Yeah.
And just like absorbing them because I think it also, because I feel like there's a different type of person who gets exhausted by being in HR and having to listen to people's problems. I think it gives you energy.
Yeah.
So I think you would thrive.
Yeah. So this might be my new career path eventually, but well,
Mhm.
that's another problem for another day.
Yes. Okay. Now we're gonna get into the possible parent options. Okay.
Oh boy. Okay. Wow.
So
Okay.
we're going to Texas first.
Yes. Yeah. Everything's bigger in Texas. Like ideas.
Yes.
Like this is a big idea. Have you ever been to Texas?
I have not ever been to
Yeah, I've
Texas.
never been to Texas either,
I've never
but
had a reason to go to
I,
Texas.
I, would, I would go to Texas. I would go to Texas
I'd
just
go to
to,
Texas in the winter.
yeah, Texas in the winter. The things I know about Texas, good barbecue.
Mhm.
They have their own power source that goes out all the time. So maybe they should
Yes.
get into the government's power source, but they choose not to. Because if Texas
Mhm.
could be their own state, they would be their own state
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
I've heard
Um,
good barbecue food,
yeah,
so I would
I
enjoy
literally
that.
just said that. Yeah.
One of the is it Dallas or Houston that's like very LGBTQ friendly?
It is.
Dallas? I think it's Dallas.
Well, yeah. There's one of them that has because like there's also Austin, and one of them is like Get
It's
Weird.
Austin.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I think it's like Austin, Get Weird in Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So shouts out to them. But
sure.
North goes to Texas and he
Mhm.
meets his first two eligible parents, Ma and Pa Tex. Those are the names we're given.
Perfect. Okay, so this is where Reba comes in,
Yes.
and
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. Okay, I kind of thought so, and I see them. They are in a golf cart that is dressed up in what I would call Texas drag. And
Yes.
these two are also kind of in like Texas drag. Very like stereotypical, like cowboy.
Fringe.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
fringe, there's cowboy hat, big hair. Okay.
The golf
Are-
cart has horns on it.
That is true. That is true. Big, like I only vote red energy.
Yes. So they are very, very excited about North coming to their house.
Mhm.
They feed him, as you can see in this other photo,
Mm.
they are like trying to fatten him up. They give him like an entire rack of ribs, like multiple ears of corn, piles and
Mm.
piles of mashed potatoes. And he's
Okay.
like, wow, this is a lot of food. And they say, yes, we would love to fatten you up. We had a son, he's dead.
How
We
and
would like,
why?
I don't know.
Okay, because like it's either like we fed him too much and he exploded, like that blueberry bitch from,
Yeah, from Willy Wonka.
or it's like
Violet, you're turning violet.
or we didn't feed him enough, like we forgot to feed him, so we like are trying.
No, they
to
definitely,
go the
their first
opposite.
son was chonky because they mention it.
Okay, now
Yes.
these two are not like plus size at all,
No.
so they just
They just like a chubby kid, I guess.
sure, okay,
And they dress up. The other thing to mention is North has like different outfits for everywhere he goes. And
I
so he
love
is
that.
wearing, he's
Mhm.
wearing like red and blue cowboy attire.
Okay, he looks cute. Like he looks
Yeah.
adorable. The food looks good. They look friendly enough. I am not seeing an issue because the next point that you make is that they like musicals.
Yeah, there's a whole like dance number. I mean, Reba is there, so like it tracks that they would do a
Mhm.
dance number, but there's an entire dance number like at the dinner table. And but the problem here,
Yeah, what's the
Sarah,
problem? Because it seems like it's all looking up.
he essentially North does not like that they want him to basically be they want him to be a replacement for their dead son. They have not properly
Mm,
like grieved the loss of their son. They are
yeah.
just trying to like put him in that spot to replace him.
Mhm.
So he is not a big fan of that. However, he does meet Cowboy Bruce Willis while in
Yes.
Texas.
Yes, I see that. Yeah. Once
Yes.
again, I'm pretty confident that he's just a pedophile stalker, but
And
sure.
he's like, I don't know you. Who are you? You know? And
Oh,
right
okay.
before North leaves, because he has like decided, I don't think this is for me. I'm going to continue on my search.
Okay, and
Um,
once again, it's strictly because he gets fed too much and his parents are like, your name is like Bobby John. He's like, my name is not Bobby John.
Yes. I will also just point out, this is his first stop. So it's kind of like, are you going to take the first offer you get, you know?
Okay, well, and Deal or No Deal, I'm always like, take the deal, because you never know what kind of bad thing is going to happen next.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't have the ability to be like, let me look at my options and then like revert back.
He possibly could, but like
Yeah.
he's very much turned off by the fact that they want to use him as like a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
So he's about to leave, and Bruce Willis has this like silver dollar, you know, like the big coins.
Yeah.
And he throws it in the air and he shoots it with the gun, and then there's a bullet hole through the coin.
Okay.
And he gives North the coin. That coin will come into play later.
Okay. Was it like a Sacagawea coin? Probably not.
No, I think it was a silver dollar.
Yeah. All right. And then just one more clarifying thing. The top left picture of the triangle that says Texas, was that just to show that he's in Texas?
It was, I just thought it was so weird. As he's leaving, they have this triangle hanging outside their front door. And I just wondered, is this for cattle? Like, what are they doing? What are they using this triangle for? I don't know.
I think that this would have been a good option.
I think of all the options on the board, this certainly wasn't the worst one.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. Next up, we're going to Hawaii.
Wow. Okay. So you know what? Like, maybe I was wrong. Like, maybe I would rather live in Hawaii. Have you ever been to Hawaii, Jessica?
No. Once upon a time, there was discussion about my husband and I going to Hawaii on vacation. But we ended up like switching and going to Europe instead. But one day I would like to go to Hawaii. It looks gorgeous.
I went to Hawaii around the time that I was North's age. And it was a grand old time. It was probably my favorite vacation I've ever been to, mainly because my sisters stayed at home, which was amazing.
Oh, lovely for you.
Yeah, bye, bitch. Okay, so we're in Hawaii, and who are our parents now?
Yeah, we have Governor and Mrs. Ho.
Okay.
So we have a man in charge. There is a line in this film that cracked me up so much. And basically, Governor Ho says there's only one barren area in all of Hawaii, and unfortunately, it's Mrs. Ho.
Oh my God. Okay, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Okay,
so they can't have children.
So he's a governor and he's a comedian.
Yes. So they honestly, North's time in Hawaii looks just ideal. He's going snorkeling. He goes up parasailing with his possible new parents. He goes to a luau.
Oh, I've been to a luau and I've been snorkeling. Good old time.
Yeah, it seems like a great time. You could see in this one photo, like beautiful sunset in Hawaii.
Truly.
So he's having a lovely time. The problem is at the luau, basically what happens is the governor says, we need people to respect the state of Hawaii. We're barely even considered a state. We're the 50th state and no one seems to care about us. I not only want to get tourists here, but also they need to respect us. And everyone loves you, North. So they would love to have you in Hawaii. And so he has this giant billboard, which you could see on the slides.
Okay.
And it is like the suntan lotion bottle.
Yes.
So there is an octopus and it says North says go Hawaiian. And there's an octopus pulling down the little Speedo from North and showing off his little pale butt. And
he's embarrassed by this.
Yes. And it's like animatronic, like it moves this thing. And
it's not like a photo of him. It's like
it's a drawing.
It's an illustration.
Yeah.
It's in his likeness. So I don't know if I would have a problem with this, but what is North's? He's just embarrassed by it.
He hates this. And this is the plan is Governor Ho wants to put these in all airports. So North is like, I don't want my butt. He says, I don't want my crack shown in every airport. North hates. I mean, think about it. You're like a 10 or 12-year-old boy. Like, you're going to get picked on if your ass is all over the globe.
You know, I'm truly just realizing that I think that North is the problem, but
He is the problem. Thank you, Sarah. Exactly. The entire movie is basically us as humans and adults realizing North sucks.
He's a brat. Yeah.
He
Like gets to live in Hawaii. They treat him well. His dad is funny. His mother seems friendly enough.
Mhm.
And his issue is that his butt's showing. It's just
Well,
his butt.
I think part of it is also he realizes that like his dad truly is a politician, or his possible dad is
Yeah.
truly a politician and wants North for like the clout versus
Got
like
it.
actually loving him.
Well,
Yeah.
but okay, whatever. I still think like this could have been a good option too. Now, what's Bruce Willis doing now? That silly Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, he's hanging out at the beach with a metal detector, really vibing. He's wearing these like slouchy, relaxed linen pants, like a loose fit Hawaiian shirt with most of his chest out. He's vibing.
Okay, so he's having a great time in Hawaii, and he still claims that he doesn't know who North is.
Exactly.
Yes. And he's still a guaranteed pedophile. Perfect.
Yes.
And then what kind of sound advice does he give in Hawaii? Do you remember?
He doesn't. I mean, his advice is kind of just, he doesn't really have good advice in Hawaii. There are other locations he has good advice in, but this one he's kind of just vibing on the beach.
Okay, so
and North is like, I know you. And he's like, I don't know you.
Got it. That is something that somebody that would know you would say to trick you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next place we're going from really nice, really warm, lovely beachy weather, frigid Alaska. Now, here's the situation.
Yeah.
His parents in Alaska, his possible parents in Alaska,
yeah.
One of them is Kathy Bates.
A la Misery.
A la Misery. The other one, who the hell knows? I don't even think they give these parents names.
Okay, they're randos. They live in a ice shack, an igloo.
They do. And this is where we get into the more problematic aspects.
Are these indigenous folk?
His father is.
Okay.
His mother obviously is Kathy Bates, and so she is not.
Is she pretending to be an indigenous folk?
It seems like it, or maybe she married in, you know?
Yeah.
But they there's like sled dogs and like all the houses are igloos. And there's the very beginning of the scene of them arriving in Alaska. The dad like hits a button on a remote and the igloo is like a garage, and the garage door opens and the sled dogs go in.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I've never been to Alaska. My mom just went to Alaska. She took like the cruise to Alaska.
How long of a cruise did she go on? And do you know which cruise line she took?
I can ask her. I don't know.
I'm very curious.
A period of time.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I don't think you can go on this cruise.
Oh, is it lesbians only?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. It's a lesbian one. I almost forgot about it. Yeah. I mean, you could probably go, but you'll probably get hit on.
Not the worst thing that's ever happened. So he's in Alaska. It's fun because he gets to do like ice fishing in his house. Like they have like plaid everything.
Yeah, that is fun.
The major problem is they say the E word like a gazillion times in this section of the film, which we no longer say. It is, we refer to them as like Inuit people, not that word. Indigenous folks of Alaska. But the other problematic thing, Sarah, is that when people get too old in this village, they're like, okay, come on, grandpa, it's time to put you out to sea.
Okay, my soon-to-be husband would love this. He hates old people. I would be sad. Okay, is it like, I mean, sometimes elderly people are really, really mean. So maybe this is like not the worst thing.
No, it seems like this grandpa in this case is super nice. In fact, North loves old people. And so when they're like on the way to put him out to sea, he's like fully bonding with his possible grandfather. And then, as you can see in one of these photos, they literally have like a plank of ice, a la like Titanic. They put a chair on it with like a table and a lamp and everything. The old person sits on it and just gets pushed out to sea. And when the grandpa gets pushed out to sea, he's like, listen, if you change your mind in like a month, just come get me.
Okay, that makes me want to cry.
It's really awful.
That
And
is there
Kathy
any
Bates the whole time is like, it's fine, it's fine. They can't contribute to society anymore.
I mean, is there any way that North can just go live on the ice plank with his
It's a
grandfather?
very small ice plank. Like,
I mean, okay, so this is very much Titanic. Like,
exactly.
he too can fit on the ice plank, but they're like,
Yeah.
no, it's not big enough for two
Yes.
people. This would be like a big no for me because it would just be way too cold.
It's very cold. And of course, it's on the boat that they use to bring Grandpa out to sea, where he meets a bundled up Bruce Willis, who he's very like stoic. This version of Bruce Willis, very stoic.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So far, which place would you live of the places so far? We have Texas, Hawaii, Alaska. Where are you going?
I think I'm probably leaning towards Hawaii. I really don't care if my butt shows because I've been told that I have a pretty good butt.
Wow. Okay. Good for you.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Hawaii would be my option as well.
Yeah. I mean, I do like the Texas place. It's not bad at all because honestly, like the musicals sound fun. The food
Reba seems like a fun mom.
good. Yeah, like I don't think I would mind the Texas, but definitely not Alaska. Way too cold for me. I don't like what they do to the elderly. I don't want like Kathy Bates that I strictly know from like American Horror Story and Misery. I mean, she's in billions of things, but those are the two things that stick out in my head.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do it.
No,
So,
yeah. I get you. I agree. I think Hawaii is the best option here. Now we're going to do some quick hits because
yeah.
he visits the Amish. He
Mm.
gets off the plane. This guy is like, hey, here are your 3 brothers named Jebediah, and here are your other 3 brothers all named Zedediah, and welcome to the family. And North says, oh shoot, I forgot my butter churner on the plane. I'll be right back. And then the plane is like, nope, I'm out. I'm not doing the Amish thing. Absolutely not.
Once again, very bratty. Like until you try it, can you really knock it?
I bet that butter tastes good.
Yes. There we get this popcorn. It's our favorite snack. It's called like Amish popcorn company.
You get it. Is it popped already or like the kernels? What is
the kernels? The kernels.
Okay.
And we love it. So like I'm pro Amish.
You love popcorn.
I do. And then I visited the Amish country when I lived on the East Coast. I went to Pennsylvania. Very interesting people. Like, yes, I love my stuff and my electronics and everything. So I don't know if it's for me totally, but once again, like until you're there for at least a few days, you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's not into the Amish. He goes to China. It's a very quick hit and he's not into it. It's not for him.
Seems a bit racist, but
exactly.
Okay.
He goes to Paris, has a beret with his parents, the Eiffel Tower. He literally, Sarah, has an apartment with a view of the Eiffel Tower.
And what's his fucking problem here?
He doesn't like the TV shows.
I hate this kid. He's a fucking brat. He's ungrateful. He doesn't give anything. He's uncultured. He doesn't give anything a shot. He like honestly is the worst. And it's like, I cannot believe it. You're in fucking Paris, like, and you just don't like the TV. Like, just wait until like you get yourself like a phone and just watch some YouTube or something.
Yeah.
You can watch us on the YouTube right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Shit 90s pod. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This apartment seems really cool. His parents are like watching sitcoms and laughing hysterically. Possibly it's like maybe they were in French or something and so he didn't understand them. But like, again, serious misstep. This Paris one seemed really nice. Of all these 3, Paris, I mean, a view of the Eiffel Tower. Come on. Now, he ends up next, and this is at this point in the film, Sarah, after he left the Amish people, he was like starting to freak out because all this world traveling takes a long time.
Yes.
And so he only has 7 days left to make a decision at this point.
Okay.
So he's really rushing through this. So now he ends up in Africa where we get, again, more like problematic sort of things. I don't think his parents have names in this one either, or his potential parents. At least we don't learn their names.
Yeah.
The problem is he meets his prospective mom, and she's topless.
Yeah.
And he can't handle dem titties, Sarah. He's staring.
Okay. Do we get to see the boobs?
No. We see the shot that is on the slides, which is him staring at her chest. And he literally says, if I lived here, I don't think I'd get much homework done, as he's like staring. Yeah.
All right.
He's learning from Bruce Willis how to be a creep.
Yeah, truly. Okay. How does he end up in these places? Who's sending him to these places?
I think so. He gets in the very beginning when he has the lawsuit, and Arthur, his lawyer, brings in like a giant bag of mail. So I think they get to decide. Like, I think he's getting like fan mail, and he gets to decide who he wants to try.
So once again, it's like all of his fault that he's just like not picking like normal people from like Cincinnati or whatever.
Well, it is funny that you say that, because we will get to not Cincinnati, but like normal people, right?
Okay.
So he can't handle the boobs.
Like all these different cultures aren't normal, but like obviously like
closer to his own culture.
Yeah, like he is very uncultured and ungrateful, and like he's just like, let me try like this like thing that's gonna give me culture shock, and like shocked that it doesn't work out for him. Like that's on him.
Yeah, exactly. And like, again, it's a little problematic that like literally he looks like Mowgli in these like in these scenes. Like, it's like they took the most caricaturized, stereotypical version of all of these places, and we're like, this is where he shall live, in a hut in Africa. You know what I mean? Like, so anyway, so he doesn't like Africa. He leaves. He goes to the Nelsons. The Nelsons.
Yes, these are very normal people.
They are normies. They live in upstate New York, baby. They are the epitome of a normal family. They it is mother, father, played by John Ritter, 2 children, 1 boy, 1 girl, a dog. They have a sheepdog, as you could see in the photo. Very cute. They are the Nelsons. And they are like the epitome of the quote unquote all-American family.
Very nice.
They play Nintendo. They do a family game of football. They all have dinner together around the dinner table. Just the epitome of normal.
Yes, very nice. White picket fence. They have that like name sign on the tree, a white house with like black shutters. Like, this is very nice.
Very idyllic. Now, did you recognize Tiny Girl Child?
No. But I see that it is Scarlett Johansson.
That is a young ScarJo making her film debut.
Yeah, I can see it once again within the eyes. Yeah.
Yep. So they love North. They really, really, and like John Ritter cast perfectly here, right? Like perfect all-American dad. And they love him. They want to adopt him. The older brother is like, I've always wanted a younger brother. And the younger sister's like, I could use 2 brothers to protect me.
Aww.
Like, very, I'm trying to think of like, the old sitcoms.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Leave It to Beaver sort of like family. Yeah.
Got it.
So the problem is, because here's the thing, like, this family seems perfect, right?
Yeah,
North should be happy here.
They have a big dog.
Big dog. North should be so happy here. But the problem is he's not. It's still not working for him. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? Maybe I need to contact my original parents. Now, we're going to take a quick pit stop and say, meanwhile, this little fuck Winchell. And describe the photo that you're looking at of Winchell, Sarah.
Well, it looks like his overbite got even worse. But he's having a business meeting with a bunch of phones. It looks like he is in a high rise. And he's sitting on a big red businessy executive chair.
Yeah, he is mad with power. Winchell, being the kind of arbiter, the one who made this all happen for North, everyone is consulting him. He's the genius behind all of this, right? He has so much power, and he wants, his plan is eventually he is going to make lawyer Arthur president, which the Arthur loves. He's very excited about
President of the United States.
this. Yes.
Well,
And
less qualified people have become
yes.
president. So
Yes.
why not at this point? Why not just let him, John Lovett, give him a shot?
Yeah. So children all over the world are kind of gathering to have meetings. And there is a poster at one point up on a tree that says, Viva El Norte! Grounded? Can't watch your favorite TV show? Sent to your room without dinner? Give me an hour.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
they're doing meetings everywhere. You can see in the other photo, they're picketing at Mount Rushmore.
Yes, yeah. Okay, looks like a good little protest. Says folks know best ages when to. Oh, so wait.
These are the parents that
are protesting.
Yes, because there's a major divide now. Parents, now that North's lawsuit worked, parents everywhere are terrified. And so children are getting whatever they want because the parents are afraid that the children will follow North's lead and do what he did.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
I guess.
So that's what's happening in the meantime.
Okay.
Also, his parents, as I said before, full on coma. Full on comatose.
Okay. So have they eaten anything? Have they drank anything?
They are on display in like a museum. In like one of those like big glass box things. Sarah's just nodding for the audio only listeners.
Okay.
I didn't say it made sense. Also, this is back in the day when Jason Alexander had hair.
Okay.
It's very exciting. Now, North decides, like, he's like, I actually don't, I'm not vibing with the Nelsons. Like, I miss my parents. I want to go home.
Because he's ungrateful. Like, it's not like this family is like, this is not like a White Orleander situation. Have you ever seen that movie or read the book?
No.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. Where like every single home that the girl went to was an abusive situation. No, this little fuck is just not grateful. He doesn't want to go to Hawaii. He doesn't want to stay with the Nelsons who would love him to death.
Yeah.
But okay, moving on.
Speaking of death, so Winchell gets wind of this, and Winchell eventually, North's parents wake up out of their coma after months. And Winchell's like, oh, I'll help you make a videotape to send to North about how much you love him and want to see him again, right? And Winchell is a little manipulative fuck.
Yeah.
And he splices together the video and makes it sound like they don't want North back.
Oh,
because Winchell says things like, oh, I have a different kid you can have. And they're like, he's not my son. We don't want him. And then Winchell splices it all together, sends it to North. North is devastated and confused, and he wants to speak to his parents. So he tries to get on a plane to return home. Well, in the meantime, Winchell has hired an assassin. I mean, he's not really an assassin because he has like a different job, but Winchell uses this man to attempt to assassinate North.
Okay.
Now, he is under attack.
What do you mean he's dead?
This is the thing. This man in this silver suit, he shoots at North as North is like climbing into a truck in the city, like a big box truck.
Okay.
This man finds North's hat that has red liquid on it.
Yeah.
And he thought that he killed North.
Okay.
So Winchell posts in the newspaper, North is dead.
Okay. So
when North,
he's like, oh, I did my job. This is a classic Snow White story.
Yes, classic. He thinks North is dead. North is not dead. North tries to get on a plane, and this lady is like, but you're dead.
Okay, so you messed up the order of these slides.
I mean, it all is happening like kind of at the same time. Like,
okay.
So this man goes back to Winchell and is like, he's dead. Everything's great. And Winchell is like, wait a minute. I just got word that North tried to get on a plane. What do you mean he's dead? I thought he was dead. He hands over this hat. Turns out that liquid was juice.
It's juice.
It's juice.
What kind of
I'm
juice?
trying to remember what kind of juice it was.
It's blood red. So it's supposed to be cranberry? Is it like fruit
What
punch?
did he say it was? Oh no, you know what it was? Never mind. It wasn't juice.
Jam?
It was borscht. Borscht.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. How and why does he have borscht?
It was in a box truck. Like the box truck had boxes or whatever of borscht.
It was just a bunch of Russian food in there, of course.
Exactly.
Of course. Why would I even question it?
Yeah. So North ends up getting away. He makes a run for it, right? Now, here's the thing. So let me back up a little bit because North ends up in, I think if we pretend, I'm pretty sure at least, North originally is from outside of New York City. Like I'm pretty sure he grows up in like some suburb outside of New York because he ends up in New York City. And this man is still trying to attack him. He's like, he fucked up his job. He fucked up his job. North is trying to buy a hot dog. That's how I'm pretty sure it's New York. And when it's not the shirt that says "I love New York" on it. I forgot he was wearing that.
It's the hot dog that proves he's in New York. Perfect. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he yes, when he buys a hot dog and he gets change back from said hot dog, that coin with the hole in it is part of the change he gets back.
How weird. Okay.
So he's like, where did you get this? And the hot dog salesperson is like, this homeless man just bought a hot dog. So now North is like, I must find the homeless man. Homeless man is Bruce Willis.
Of course.
His name is Joey Fingers.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't write this movie. So he gets to see
Joey Finger.
Him and Joey Fingers figure out a way to get they work their magic. They get the original video, the actual video of North's parents.
Got it. Okay.
And there's a whole action scene where it's like a chase scene and he is in a restaurant and then he has to keep the video and whole thing.
Got it. So like if you like watch any of our Buffy stuff, like we just kicky punchy.
Yes, very like action scene heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't cover that.
No. He gets to see the actual video that says like, no, his parents do actually miss him. They love him, whatever.
Great.
So he's doing his best to get back to his parents. The problem is, Sarah, it is getting dangerously close to Labor Day, if you remember the rules, Sarah.
Has to be in the arms of the chosen
physically
parent.
in the arms. Yes.
Or off to the orphanage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So luckily Joey Fingers is there to help him out. He gives them a ride and he gives him very sound advice.
Wait, he's a homeless person, but he has a car?
I feel like steal the car. They get the car somehow. I don't think it's Joey Fingers' car.
Okay.
Now, the sage advice that Joey Fingers dispenses is don't visit Florida because your balls will stick to your leg like crazy glue.
What? Don't go to Florida.
Yes.
Because your balls will stick to
your leg.
Oh, from sweat. Okay.
From sweat. It's hot.
Got it.
Hot in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. This is sage advice from Joey Fingers.
Got it. Yeah.
Now, he meets his parents at like the furniture store. And
his favorite place. Yes, of course.
Time is running out and they're like leaping into the air to like hug, right?
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Now, it was all a fucking dream. He wakes up in the original leather chair.
Yeah.
So we go all the way back. If we start all the way at the beginning.
Remember. Yes. Yeah.
This moment when he's real sad and just sitting in the chair.
Falls asleep.
And
the whole thing is a dream.
Yes. And who walks in but Bunny Man Bruce Willis and is like, what are you doing here, kid? Go home.
Mm. Cool.
And so
Okay.
he ends up going home to his parents. He's
Yeah.
reunited, like
Okay.
everyone's happy.
Yeah, well, but his parents are still negligent and don't pay attention to him,
Well,
right?
they are like, "Oh my gosh, we've been looking everywhere for you. We missed you so much." That sort of
okay,
thing.
because he ran away to the furniture store.
And he
They're
fell
like,
asleep.
and he was probably there for hours, and they're like, "Oh,
Exactly.
thank goodness you're okay." Did they
Yes.
bring him to the mall, or did he get to the mall on his
No,
own?
he walked on his own.
Got it.
Very
How
latchkey kid.
did they find him at the mall?
No, he woke up
Yeah.
and then came home.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
So, I do have some trivia for you.
Okay.
There was a different ending originally.
Okay.
in
Yeah,
mind.
it has to be better than this, but go on.
So, yeah, originally North is reunited with his parents. He confesses his whole dream to them.
Yes.
And his dad was like surprised, but his mom was like, "Don't worry, like parents do get overwhelmed, but we still love you."
Okay.
And North's dad is like, "I promise we will like give you more attention." But in the final scene, his parents are just like arguing again and ignoring him. So it had definitely like a sadder ending originally.
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they said all that stuff about he told his parents the dream and the real ending.
No, in the real ending, he like shows back up and they're like, "Oh my God, we missed you so much. Like we were so sad. Like we didn't know where you were. Let us make you dinner and like tuck you in." They're like very attentive and he's just like kind of absorbing it.
I wish that they maybe combined the endings.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that conversation would have been good to have and for North to hear, like, we get overwhelmed. Like, that all sounds like good stuff. I don't really mind the like harsh reality of like it's snapping back eventually, it reverts because people don't change in a minute.
Yeah.
I kind of like the original ending. What do you think?
I agree. I think like meeting in the middle probably with the two of them would have been better. But then again, North is a selfish little
Very,
asshat.
yeah, he is miserable. I did forget about that part. Yeah.
Yeah. Now the other thing is, do you know who directed this movie?
Couldn't
And
say
produced
that I
it?
do. No.
Rob Reiner. Do you recognize
Rob-
this name?
Ish.
He's really famous. So he directed Stand By Me. He directed and produced Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally.
So actually
Misery.
good movies. Good movies.
Misery, A Few Good Men. Like, again, very, very famous. This guy is well known. Now, you asked me in the beginning about the cast. Like, how did he assemble such a cast?
Yes.
Because he's Rob Reiner.
Yeah, he got the clout too.
Exactly.
Like, he's like, do this favor for me. He wrote this movie as well.
I think so. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so he wrote and directed and like probably produced this movie.
Oh wait, hold on, maybe so he produced and directed.
Okay.
It's based on a 1984 novel, North, The Tale of a 9-Year-Old. This is a ridiculous title. North, The Tale of a 9-Year-Old Boy Who Becomes a Free Agent and Travels the World in Search of the Perfect Parents.
It's a little short for my liking, but not bad. Okay.
So the original screenplay is by Alan Zwiebel, who was the writer of the book.
Okay. Nonetheless, like this is kind of like this really successful director's like baby. And he's like, hi, famous friends, like do me a solid and do this movie with me. And they're like, oh yes, this is probably going to win us a Oscar because you're so esteemed. We will do this for you.
Yeah. So Kathy Bates really disliked the script.
Yeah.
And she was told by her agent, like, you should decline this.
Yeah.
But she felt indebted to Rob Reiner because of Misery.
Got it. Okay.
So she wanted to like thank him because she won an Oscar for Misery.
Okay. This makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yes. So the other funny thing is, like, I don't know if you know about Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel, but they were like famous movie reviewers,
critics.
And they're like, this is one of the worst films we've ever seen. Ebert wrote, I hated this movie, hated this movie, hated it, hated every simpering, stupid, vacant, audience insulting moment of it, hated the sensibility that thought anyone would like it, hated the implied insult to the audience by its belief that anyone would be entertained by it.
So he liked it? He enjoyed it?
He hated it so much. And apparently the screenwriter, the guy who also wrote the book, he has a clipping of this review in his wallet and sometimes will read it at like public appearances.
Well, I do like that.
Yeah.
I do like that. Like, I like a little like self-deprivation humor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Roger Ebert's review became so like notorious, like usually even more than the film itself. Like that was what was remembered, that he later released a collection of negative reviews titled "I hated this movie."
Oh, that's very good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he ran with it.
Yeah.
All right. What is the Rotten Tomatoes rating?
Oh, good question. Let me see. The
Rotten
or
the IMDb.
The IMDb is at a solid 4.5. So really not even that bad.
High, yeah.
The Rotten Tomatoes score, I'm pulling up right now. Oh no. The tomato meter is at 14%.
Oh, that is lower than I was going to guess. I was going to say 19.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So it's a Rotten Tomato.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
Really rotten. Okay.
And as I said previously, this is also the film debut of one ScarJo.
Okay, what a little star in the making, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, it's very funny because I feel like everything I read was like, oh, Bruce Willis hated the script, but he was persuaded by his wife at the time, Demi Moore, because Rob Reiner had just directed A Few Good Men in 1992.
Yeah.
So he was convinced.
This makes a lot of sense. Like, I did not understand, but now I very much understand. Like, it's kind of like, hi, like, my name is Steven Spielberg. I have this movie. It's called Man on a Toilet for 24 Hours. Like, will you join this movie?
Yes.
And like, everybody will say yes because it's Steven Spielberg. Like, he can get literally anybody, right?
Yeah. Exactly. It's exactly the same kind of thing. And even like John Candy was originally supposed to be Pa Tex, but he found the stereotypes in the script to be really insulting. So he was
he's
like,
the only one that thought so. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, not great. Scarlett Johansson actually really enjoyed working on the film though, because she was 8 years old and she was like, this was magical.
I mean, she was a child that like had never been on a film set before, and her set was normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is like Rob Reiner, I don't think he knew what it would be like bad, but he wanted to have just like a fun movie making experience. So he wasn't super worried about whether or not it would perform well.
Did this ruin his career? Like, what did he do afterwards?
No, definitely didn't ruin his career. Like, North was in 1994. He still ended up producing. I'm trying to think. Do I recognize any of these?
Yeah, like what's the most famous movie that he's done since North?
The Bucket List, maybe? Shock and Awe, Spinal Tap 2, apparently. Alex and Emma, Story of Us, Ghost of Mississippi, American President. I don't recognize any of these, do you?
So it kind of ruined his career.
Maybe it did. Yikes.
Sucks to suck.
Oh, wait. The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay. That one is...
That's a good one.
He directed that or he produced it? What did he do?
Let me see. He was involved in it. Oh, no. Never mind. He starred in it. I thought he produced it. He was just in it.
He ruined his career by making this movie is what I'm hearing.
Well, because look at the ones before. Sure Thing, Stand By Me, Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
It looks like after... No. Oh, okay. The only one that he got awards for after is The American President.
Okay.
Which he produced.
Got it.
And that earned... let's see. Did it win any nominations for anything? That one I think is more people appreciated that one. It was like well known.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's more drama.
Oh, it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
Okay.
In my research.
Okay.
Just incredible. Murder. So
Murderer.
Bryn Hartman, who is this woman in the photo,
Mm-hmm.
was married to Phil Hartman, also in this photo, and this was like her one and only film appearance, and she plays a waitress. Like, she doesn't play like a big part or anything, but it was like her one and only appearance.
Okay.
She was kind of she wanted to be an actor. Her husband was much more successful than she was. And she killed him and then committed suicide.
She killed him.
She killed him. And the story is wild because, so in 1998, she killed her husband in his sleep. She shot him 3 times with a revolver. Then at like 3 a.m., she drives to her friend Ron Douglas's house. She confesses to the murder. He doesn't really believe her. It's not until 6 a.m.
Just like a little prank.
just a little prank.
Yeah, just a
harmless prank.
Trick. Yeah, okay.
6 a.m. They drive back to her house where now he sees the body.
Well, it took like 3 hours for her to convince him.
I guess so.
Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, I murdered him.
I did murder him.
I murdered him.
So he calls the police, obviously.
Yeah.
They arrive on the scene, escort the 2 children out of the house, who must have been just left alone with the dead husband for hours.
Yeah.
And then before the police like did anything with her, like cuffed her, anything like that, she goes back into the bedroom and kills herself with a second revolver.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a fucking flop by the cops.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
and I guess apparently she also like she struggled with alcoholism, cocaine. They were like getting a divorce. Like it's a whole thing.
So big, that is big drama, big picture drama. Okay.
And apparently, allegedly, she had combined like cocaine, alcohol, and Zoloft like on the night of
a little cocktail,
a little bit of a cocktail. So I found that in doing the research for the movie and everything and the trivia, and I was like, "Excuse me, murder as well."
And you're saying that like she was like in this movie for a minute.
This is her one and only like on-screen acting appearance, and she plays the waitress. Yeah.
But like how long was the waitress in this movie?
I don't even remember seeing her. So
okay. Wow.
Not much.
All right.
Yep. Any questions, Sarah, on this film? My presentation? Any questions? Anything I haven't covered?
I just want to know if like you liked it.
I enjoyed how ridiculous it was.
Yeah.
Like it was only an hour and a half, so it really wasn't that long.
Okay. And a lot I will say an hour and a half, so it like really went.
And it's one of those movies where you keep, as it goes, you're like, holy shit, this person's in it. Holy shit, this person's in it.
Yeah.
Like it was fun because of how unhinged it was. It's the perfect sort of movie for this kind of presentation because it's so ludicrous.
Yes.
Definitely there are a lot of aspects that don't age well. But it is kind of like one of those movies that you'd watch as a kid and love. Like, I probably would have liked this had I seen it as a child, you know? Like, it's a fun little, like, oh, this kid doesn't like his parents. He's trying to get away from them, you know?
Yeah. Okay. The presentation was lovely. It looked very organized. And
anyone who's listening to the audio only podcast, if they have one of those like gap cutters where that cuts out the pauses, there was a massive pause.
It looked like a template.
And it was a template.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. And it didn't have any effects.
Were you entertained?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, well, that was the point. You were informed. Could you, if you had to, would you be able to like go into your living room and tell Adam what the movie North is about?
Yes, which I actually feel like could be an interesting exercise. It
would be like a very fun game of like telephone to see what translated, like what stayed in your mind.
Yeah, maybe that's like the next evolution of this. Yeah. Is there anybody that we can get on the podcast in an instant where I can tell the story back to somebody?
Like probably this moment in time?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
we'll do that next time. Did Will watch this, your husband?
He did not. I did tell him the premise and asked him if he wanted to watch it. And he said no, because it looked like it had terrible reviews and he
Mm,
didn't want to waste his time.
yeah.
Fair.
Will's time is very valuable.
Yeah, he says no thank you.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of other movies on Todd's list. Now, we want to know from the listeners, did this work for you? Did you enjoy this? Like, did you watch the YouTube version? If you did, don't forget to subscribe, because I think this is a fun idea to do in the future. I like the idea of like, it's kind of like you get a little break, like you get to like sit back and relax and be almost like an audience. And I was the one who did all the legwork. Now, next time, Sarah, you get to just surprise and delight me, shock and awe with your incredible slides skills. With a movie of your picking. Is this something you're interested in now that we've done it once and with me doing the presentation?
Oh, yes, of course, because I'm a professional bullshitter. Now, you didn't fabricate anything, right?
That would be fun. Okay, yes. You should fabricate something and I should have to guess what it is.
Yeah, because the thing is that, like I said, I'm a professional bullshitter and I love to make stuff up and just say stuff. And I feel as though I would definitely like change the plot a little. But this was a magical experience. I wish that there was somebody that I can tell this back to. But we're just way too busy. It's literally, it's not even 11 o'clock a.m.
Yeah. So we'll have to come back next time with a movie that you're gonna, or at some point maybe, with a movie you're gonna watch to tell me about. If anyone has suggestions for what you think Sarah should watch, like I think this works well with not even necessarily a good movie. In fact, I think it should be a bad movie.
It'd be a bad movie.
And it should be kind of crazy, like a little bit unbelievable, especially Sarah, if you are going to try to hoodwink me with like some false facts. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah, I'm not doing Schindler's List, people.
No. If you have suggestions, send them in shit90spod@gmail.com, shit90spod.com. You can comment on this video on YouTube with a suggestion if you have one. And yeah. I've really enjoyed my time here today.
Yeah. I have a question for you about your background. I'm assuming that is a Schitt's Creek reference.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. So for those watching the video podcast, this is a Succession reference.
Oh, Succession. Okay. Got it.
She brought a ludicrously capacious bag.
Do you know what bag is on the picture?
Yes. It is. So I think in the show itself, is it like it's not a Birkin bag, but I found a Google image that was similar enough to like a Birkinish bag.
Okay. Do you know who makes a Birkin bag?
No.
You really don't?
Is it Louis Vuitton? No, that doesn't have the LV on it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Is it?
No.
Oh, who makes them?
Hermes.
How do you, is it like a H, but it's silent?
Yeah.
Like Hermes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is a Birkin. So you got there.
Oh, look at me go.
It's a
the only reason I know that though.
Why?
Sex in the City.
Got it. Yes.
The Birkin bag.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I just was curious. I just wanted to know if you knew what it was.
Yeah. I made this image. So if you are new to the YouTube channel, we are going to have our Buffy and Felicity podcast also on video, and just keep an eye on this little guy back here because it might be changing with different podcasts. Anything else, Sarah, you want to let the people know about before we get on out of here? We're running longer than the film at this point.
So we cover Felicity and we cover Buffy. We're in season 3 of both. And we are having a very fun time with all of that. And then we've also covered Boy Meets World and Dawson's Creek and a bunch of movies. So you can check out our website, www.shit90spod.com right there. And you can check out all the movies that we've covered. And besides that, you can, do all that stuff, sign up, social media, whatever. But also, I don't know. I also help out at Whirlwind Podcasts. If you like, they do a whole bunch of stuff over there. They got Pretty Little Liars. They have
Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars. They have the TARDIS one.
Doctor Who.
Smash.
Yep. Tuning in with Todd and Tommy. They're on a little bit of a break right now, but they cover animated stuff.
Yeah. So they're doing When Indescribable Progress is doing Schmigadoon. So yeah, like we have a lot of fun over at Whirlwind Podcasts. So
yeah.
And then I will be joining you shortly for Talking Shit.
Yeah, over on Talking Shit, we talk about Schitt's Creek every week, and we are towards the end of season 3 now. You can also find us on YouTube at Talking Shit if you want to go on over there and get subscribed as well. So very exciting stuff in the future. I'm really excited. We're heading into one of the best times of the year, festive holiday season. Christmas. So, yeah, expect some more from us in the future, but we hope you enjoyed this special presentation, and you can see us next time here on Shit 90s Pod, and we'll talk to you then. Bye, everyone.
Just ask. Shit 90 Shows Taught Me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.